Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Data Vault podcast. Today, I'm Neil Strange, CEO of Data Vault, and joined today by Alex from our Automate DV expert and
Hello.
development lead. Today, I think we're going to have a look at links. We talked about hubs previously in the previous episode, but I think links are, for me, probably the most interesting thing in Data Vault, the way they behave and so on.
They're quite versatile.
Quite versatile, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, first thing I would point out that a link is a link, but there are some subtypes of links out there that provide specific kinds of features for you.
So non-historized,
Same
hierarchical,
same as links. But
yeah.
they all essentially behave the sort of same way. So
Yeah.
let's start with a plain old link.
The boring one.
Boring? No, it's not boring.
Not boring.
Right. So what is a link? So I always say a link is there to explain a couple of things. One might be a structure. So you might have some hubs, some concepts which go together that makes up something larger, an assembly.
Unit of
something.
work.
No, not unit work there. We'll get on to unit work next.
Okay.
But,
all right.
So it might be that you I always give an example when you've got an assembly. Maybe you've got a car. And
I
the
see
car
what you
has
mean.
four wheels, an engine, and a chassis, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
You might have you might be in a factory, so you may have a hub chassis, hub wheel, hub windows, hub door, whatever, and you may want to assemble those together to make a production unit of a car.
Yep.
Okay, and then that car may then go on to subsequent finishing steps and so on. If you have that, then the assembly is what the link is used for. So this is saying this is used in the construction of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's less common, but you usually find them somewhere in your model. However, the next point is where links really should be used for, which is the unit of work.
Yes.
So when you think about this, if you've got a business process running in your organization, what is the point of a business process? The business process's job is to take your assets or your concepts and to run them through some kind of transformation to allow business value to be delivered to your organization.
Yes.
A bit abstract. So let's give an example. I make a sale. Yeah. So there's an invoice that goes out, a receipt of money comes back. There's a product involved or set of products via order lines, for example. There's a customer in the loop, and there's possibly a salesperson involved who made the sale, and so on. But they're all involved in that particular business process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were measuring sort of progress along that process, you're going to be calling in those concepts all the time to describe what's going on. Okay?
Yeah.
So you think about it, the combination of those concepts kind of represents a grain of the analytics layer for that process that's running. Okay?
Makes sense, yeah.
So customer places order, yes, but places order with a salesperson involved who's placed at a location or a division or a region, for example. So all those define the grain of what a sale is.
Yes.
Yeah. Within the sale, there's additional grain, which is what are all the products that are being sold inside that sale. So you have a sale as a grain and a line item in a sale as another layer of grain involved there, which starts to bring in concepts of products, maybe back orders, maybe other things all happening. And what a link does is it models that grain for that process. So it exists, it links to all the concepts, all the hubs which describe that process. Now, if you go lower than that, if you normalize it too far, you're going to end up with a series of two-way links. And if you want to report on that process, you're going to have to rejoin all those links back together again. You end up with a hub link join.
Yeah, you've gone too far at that point.
Slow, and also it's quite risky because you could end up introducing unknown fan traps in there where you introduce lots of extra lines because the grain of the join's different in there. So the links should be expressing the unit of work, which is the grain of the work that's being performed. And then you can have satellites hanging off of them. Okay, so the interesting thing though is that the link doesn't have a start and end date.
Yes.
All it does is it's created and then it exists. All it tells me is, hey, these concepts, they're related to each other for an instance of this particular grain unit of work.
At some point in time, they've been
So
related.
there's been a sale, and these are the things that are related together for this sale, and that's it. We can tell you when it was loaded into the warehouse, but we can't tell you anything else. So I can't tell you if it's been cancelled. I can't tell you if it's been amended in any way. All I can tell you is these were together at some point, and the source system's told us.
But that's
about
the
it.
point. It's okay that they don't tell us everything about it.
Yes, because the details come in on the satellites.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you have a satellite hanging off of the link that says, and this happened in the business on this date. This happened, this happened, this happened. And if it was subsequently cancelled, there might be a cancelled line in the satellite. We get an update, the cancelled arrives in there, and so on. And you might have multiple satellites hanging off of that order. If that order goes from system to system to process it. Yep. So it might start off in the CRM system as an order, end up in finance. So it's still the same link, still the same concept running, still the same unit of work. But you might have a CRM satellite and a finance satellite hanging off of it, holding the information as it goes through that process.
Which is very powerful because suddenly we have the integration we want.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And that's quite powerful. So we're not going to over optimize. We're modeling in with the process in mind here, and we have to understand that the link itself is just telling us there is a relationship. It's not telling us anything about when the relationship started or ended or what the status of it is.
Because I do get people saying, well, why can't we add in the dates into the link?
Well, if you put end dates in, it means you have to update the link.
Yes.
So it's no longer an insert-only architecture.
Which destroys data vault, basically.
And then you'd have to put sort dates on, start and end date sorts whenever you're searching through. So it's always a temptation to do this. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And the other thing you've got to really avoid is putting in link-to-link joins.
Yes.
Cascading keys.
Because then you get the fan traps and the join issues.
Worse than that, actually, is I think it's a performance hit as well. Because you're then getting, if there's a change in a hub, then you get a cascading key refactoring to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is horrible. And also, what you have to do is, so if a link is at a lower grain than another one, like order line and order, you have to create two separate links, each with all the joins in to the right hubs, and then make the join through some other process.
Yeah, no thanks.
No, that's what you have to do.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, right.
Right. So what sort of questions do you get in there? Because we obviously have it running through DBT, and it's fairly easy to set up once you've parameterized it.
Yeah. I mean, so the one of the questions was, okay, why don't we have dates? But we've covered that. The other one was, well, how do you do a hierarchical link? And I always say, well, actually, it doesn't matter really. It's just telling you it's a relationship between two different things at different layers rather than
a manager of. So
exactly,
you have a hub employee. One employee is the manager of another. That's a hierarchy.
Yes.
Yep. So you have a link pointing back to the same hub twice.
Yeah.
And one of the links is called manager. The other one's called employee. And there are pairs in there saying this person is the manager of the other one. And if no one has a manager, you're the top end manager, there'll be no link for you at the top end. And at the bottom end, if you are lower less level employee, you'll not be a manager link anywhere to anyone else. But that's easy enough to find out. And that's it. But it's a structural link. You see, it's not a unit of work in that case. That's what I mean by structural.
Yeah. So I mean, the way I think about it is, it's just you're relating. It's not the link. The logic of the link doesn't change. It's just the things that you're relating changes. It's the same with the same as link.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you think we can add in there?
I don't think so. Links are pretty cool, basically.
Yeah, just watch out for these things that are happening in your business. These sort of processes. The links that model them. You may have more than one link per process, and go with it.
Yeah, I mean, one point to clarify, if we hadn't already made it clear, is a link can link more than two hubs. Right, you can have more than two hubs.
Well, actually, I think there's probably one more point to point out in here, and that is sometimes a hub is missing a value. So you say I've got a grain, so I'd expect like a salesperson has a region, has an order for so on for a particular a particular order that's being placed.
Yeah.
What happens if the region's missing from this? So what you would do in that case is, because your link says I'm expecting to see a region here, what you should do is put a token value in staging that says missing but expected, or missing but not but mandated.
Which is what we call null key.
Null keys in
So
there.
that's probably a separate topic we can talk about at some point. Yeah.
I don't like to put nulls in keys.
Yes.
So your link should always have a column value in there, even if it's only a token value that says missing.
Yeah.
Then that gives you a full set of columns to work on.
Yep.
And it's possible sometimes with the grain that you're looking at that certain combinations of columns might be missing or not missing, depending on what's coming in and the status of the order, for example.
And one source system might update at a different cadence, so you'll miss it for a bit.
You might do, exactly. So use the tokens in that case.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
So we'll probably have a whole session on that.
Null keys, ghost keys are a good topic.
I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening, everyone. Hopefully that's been useful for you. If you've got any questions, please post them in the slot attached to this podcast. If not, do get in touch with us or go via our questions and answers page on the user group. All the links are provided attached after this. Do check us out. Delighted to see you, interact with you if you've got any further questions. So I've been Neil Strange and Alex Higgs today, and we'll hopefully see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.